What's going on, guys? It's Elias. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I finally get to tell you guys the story of my first race as an endurance racer, my first time driving an FB Mazda RX-7 with the Rotary in it, my first time having a team to race with, and my first Lemons race. And it all culminates into one, I would say, crunchy, maybe explosive ending. Stay tuned for that. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Now, it is a 16-hour endurance race. It's split up by 2 different days because if you know anything about NCM Motorsports Park, really awesome track. You can't have a hot track. You can't be driving on the track at night. So this Lemons race takes part in 2 days, so we're going to consolidate both days into one video, and man, it's just really exciting. I really hope you guys enjoy the video. Again, it's a lot of firsts for me, so we're going to be going over all of that good stuff. So, how did I end up here? Well, as you can see in this picture, this was taken in June of 2021 at Time Trials National, SCCA Time Trials National at NCM Motorsports Park, the same track that I do the Lemons race in. And I hung out with a really awesome group of guys, mainly from Michigan. I believe 1 or 2 of them were GM engineers. One of them was a Ford engineer. Another one was a farmer. Another dude worked at Ford. This legend right here, John Lee, works at Ford. Just a great group of guys that just were awesome to hang out with. And I actually was looking forward to hang out with them again. And that's when they told me, hey, there's this Lemons race happening in September, end of September 2021. Do you want to go to it? And I said, well, I've never done it. Sign me up. So after some initial preparation, of course, I provided a trailer full of I had a canopy, tables, a whole bunch of stuff. The team assembled, and we have Matt all the way on the right. We have Pat in the middle. We have Evil Pat slightly to the left. We have myself. We have Jane, my wife, and then we have our little mascot, the little dog. I forget his name or her name. Man, I'm terrible with names. But man, this is a great team, and everyone in this picture had a ball of fun. So let's take a look at what we were driving. Here she is, boys and girls, a 1983 or 84 Mazda FB RX-7 with a 13B engine. This is a fuel-injected rotary engine. And yep, it still had the rotary. It's a manual car. Now, if you don't know about Lemons, it's supposed to be a car that's worth about $500. You add all of the safety equipment that you would put in a race car, meaning roll cage, fire suppression. You have to wear a suit like I'm wearing here. And you take your car, you go and race with it with your friends and have a boatload of fun. And that's why Lemons is so popular. And honestly, that's really part of the experience. And the best part of the experience is that you're just there to turn laps and have fun. And I haven't had this much fun, honestly, even in the Time Trials National events, even in doing time trials and time attacks and grid life. Those are all very, very fun. Lemons just has a bit of funkiness and that bit of weirdness to it that just makes it that much more fun. Taking a look at the interior here, you get the little googly eyes in there. And in addition, if you see those orange tape markers there, there's an iPod attached to that. And the whole point is, this is Patrick. He kind of built the car with some friends in Michigan. And whenever someone spins or makes a mistake, he'll play Britney Spears' I'm Not That Innocent, I believe was the name of the song, on loop. And I believe all of us had some kind of mistake or spin, so that song was playing the entire time. Yeah, it's almost three-quarters of the tank. So now that we know what we're doing, who's racing, and what we're racing, we start off here looking at Matt getting out, Matthew Eddie getting out of the car in preparation for me getting in. And now another thing I'd like to note is that this is a very small coupe, and the car was built for very tall guys. Everyone here was at least 6'2", maybe 6'3". Some folks are taller than that, and I'm 5'8", and these are fixed seats, right? So they can't move. So what I had to end up doing was put in some pillows into this car, and I bought pillows at Walmart. Now, I don't know about their fireproofness or whatever, but at this point I needed something, because otherwise I tried to get in and I would not be able to see over the steering wheel. Just the way the car was set up, and obviously there's 3 tall drivers and a short driver, so the 3 tall drivers win. For comparison's sake, here's the tallest guy, Evil Pat, and me. We were visiting a local cave in Kentucky. And I was standing up, no problems, while he had to crouch almost on his knees to get through this portion of the cave. It's pretty incredible, if you ask me. So here I am getting all of these pillows set up. I have one large pillow on the back and then another pillow at the bottom. I'll be better prepared the next time I drive this car, but I had no idea that was going to be the case. So I get set up, put the pillows in, and now you see me kind of waiting around. Again, Matthew had spun, and when you spin, they give you a penalty. One of the penalties actually was we had to paint a Bob Ross painting in the front of the car. Let's take a look at that.
Well, I saw its back end too.
Did you get your soda?
Yeah. The cage is fine. It's not cracked, so.
This is who we call Evil Pat. Harsh.
Evil isn't how I treat.
No,
It's how I.
don't let his harsh facade fool ya. He's a nice guy. Well, there's that song again. That was playing basically the entire time the car was on. Unfortunately, each one of us had a spin at some point. Some of us had multiple spins. Just not the best performance all the time, but hey, we still did pretty well. Car held together. Let's take a look at the actual racing. I'm going to show you guys all the exciting bits and portions of it. Hope you guys enjoy the driving portion. Now, a big part of the race is also driver setup, because when you're out on the track, you're out there for 2, maybe 3, sometimes 4 hours, basically as long as your fuel tank will last. And the entire time, you got to make sure you're comfortable, you got to make sure everything's strapped in, you have to make sure all your safety gear is in check, and you got to make sure you're connected to someone else. So at this time, I actually have my iPhone in my pocket, and I'm talking to Patrick, one of the Pats. I believe it was not Evil Pat. I believe Evil Pat was coaching Matt, or I forget at this point. But anyway, somebody's out there coaching and kind of telling you, hey, it's time to pass, it's time to go, it's time to wait, it's time to, pull off, it's a red flag, it's a yellow flag, whatever it is. Try to help things go along smoothly, and then get the other team members prepared for an upcoming pit stop to refuel the car, etc. So as we set off here, just a reminder, this is basically mostly stock. RX-7, it's got Hawk Blues brake pads. The brakes do extremely well. Now, it does not have anti-lock brakes. There's no traction control. There's no anti-lock brakes, so you do end up locking the brakes. It's up to you to control that. I believe there is power steering. I forget actually. It didn't really matter. The steering feel wasn't really there as much. The suspension is very rudimentary. It is a lightweight car though, so there's some advantages to that. However, the chassis was not rigid at all. It was basically held together by bubble gum and duct tape. It was full of rust. So basically, you drive this as fast as you can, and consistency is king.
Might have trouble passing that red car. He's getting right behind him.
Already the first lap in. A couple of other notes. There's three different classes here: A, B, and C. A being the fastest, C being the slowest. We're in Class B, so we're consistently passing a lot of Class C cars, and we're getting passed by a lot of Class A cars. So you gotta watch for that. There's yellow flags everywhere, cars being broken down everywhere, all kinds of activities, all kinds of things going on at all times. This is a really fast way to learn how to drive wheel-to-wheel racing, and this is, believe it or not, Matt, first actual time wheel-to-wheel racing. So it was trial by fire, and I'd like to think I held up pretty well. As you can see from here, there's a huge storm brewing right up ahead, and there's a lot of traffic I'm gonna have to get through. It's gonna be some white knuckle driving for the next little bit here as I go through this traffic. This is what we live for. So as that little spider crosses over the GoPro, it's time to kind of give you guys my thoughts on how this RX-7 performs. Since it has no traction control, it has no anti-lock brakes, it's really my first time ever on track with a vehicle without anti-lock brake system. So it takes a lot of getting used to. The gear shift is also very sloppy. My second to third gear shifts were very difficult to pull off. I messed them up a couple of times, never over-revved the engine. The other thing is I wasn't revving the engine all the way out, so it wasn't necessary to do so, and also I wanted to conserve fuel so I can stay out here for as long as I need to be out here. The other thing is, while it's lightweight, the suspension or lack thereof, you know, the amount of body flex this thing has, it's pretty compliant and it's got a large amount of grip. We're on Hankook RS4 tires. The problem is, as soon as you lose grip, the car becomes almost completely uncontrollable. And it's one of those things where if it lets go, good luck saving it. The other thing is, you can see my arms being stretched out as far as they go. When it does let go, I can't move my hands fast enough to recover. So I have to be very diligent and very careful in how I'm driving. Again, this is because everyone else in the team is extremely tall, 6'3", 6'4". I'm 5'8". So that difference right there, you know, I'm the shortest guy there. 3 out of 4 guys are really tall. I'm losing that every time. So I don't mind. It's no big deal. I just got to drive a little bit more conservative than usual. But even so, the car, I love the way the Rotary sounds. The brakes, the Hawk Blues do really well. The RS4s also do really well. Just the suspension or lack thereof really is a bit detriment to the car, and not having ABS is just annoying. that's about all she wrote, boys and girls. I bring it in here and I let Evil Pat take a run at it. And he does a good job, actually. I don't think he spins on his second run out. But this was definitely quite the experience for me. So to kind of sum it up, this is my first time endurance racing. I've done time attack before, I've done open passing, but I've never had to deal with traffic like this. Dealing with traffic in a race is very exhausting because first you're getting passed by higher class cars, and then you're passing a whole bunch of other people, and then sometimes you find vehicles that are in the same class as you and are similarly with power and power to weight ratio, so that's a battle. And you have to manage all of that while, number one, not crashing, number two, not spinning, number three, making sure you're not over revving, making sure you're not missing your gears, making sure you're preserving the car, because the car needs to last, well, in this race, it needed to last 16 total hours on track. As you know, as many laps as you do, that's basically what your placement is. Like I said, unfortunately, most of us spun. They penalized us a bunch of times. They made us draw that Bob Ross painting in the beginning of the video I showed you guys. And there was one incident, and let me show you guys what the outcome of that was. I believe it was the El Camino in the bunch, you know, in one of those Lemons cars. Had a very powerful V8. I was definitely passing. Not Evil Pat was driving the car at the time. Slammed into the right-hand side of the RX-7. This is while I was actually, in the ears of regular Pat. I was coaching him through and kind of helping him out. And all I see is bam! Nice crunch there. Now, luckily, the cage was spared. You see here is we're cutting open, or Matt cutting open the door so we can get the glass out, because last thing we want is to have glass be flying around inside the car when we're driving around. So we got to cut that out in order to get back to the track. The track is still hot, so we're missing out on opportunities to do laps. So we're trying to hurry it up here. So yeah, we had the incident. It was pretty crunchy. And I think that's going to be a permanent battle scar, as well as the Bob Ross painting, right? Those two things, right? We beautified the car with Bob Ross painting. We unfortunately dented the crap out of it as well. The last part for my stint is to get out and help the refueling efforts, help get the new driver in, and get the hell out of the way. So as Evil Pats serenades us with some more Rotary goodness, let's go ahead and find the conclusion here. So will I do this again? I'm going to go out and say that yes, definitely. Lemons Race is something that any car enthusiast should definitely experience for themselves. The barrier to entry is extremely low. The fun factor is extremely high. Get yourself a group of friends like I found from my track events and join them. And man, this was one of the most worthwhile things I did. And I can't wait to do it again. I hope to be possibly doing this again soon, actually, at Road Atlanta. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, Evil Pat is going to send us off here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you like these type of videos. I really wanted to capture everything here and kind of give you guys the feeling of this, because I feel like more people should experience this. It's just puts more joy out into the world, right? Everyone here that was racing, they're pushing their limits, they're learning about themselves, they're learning a new skill, and ultimately they're hanging out with friends with similar interests. And you can't put a dollar value on that. It's really invaluable. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.